Hello everybody, welcome to lesson 2 today, which is telling time to the nearest 5 minutes. I know I touched on this in my video yesterday, but I think it was really important to count round in the fives because it's really good practice to do that. So this will take that learning just a little bit further rather than just quarter to or quarter past. Okay. So a few learning reminders. So this was to the nearest quarter of an hour. So we start at old clock when the long hand, which is the minute hand, and the short hand, which is the hour hand. So that would be 3.00. We could write that as 3 o'clock. This one, can you remember from yesterday's learning? Well, the hour hand has gone past the 2, so it's 2 something. You could count round in your fives: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So it's 2:45. Or we could also say quarter to 3 because that's 5, 10, 15 minutes to 3 o'clock. Another recap here for this one. So we know it's quarter to because we can use our information from that one. Quarter to, well, what's the next hour? Well, it's gone past the 3 the next hour before, so it's quarter to 4. Or you could write it as it's gone 3.45. And that's where it gets confusing in year 2 because you think, well, is it 3:45? Is it quarter to 4? Well, you can say both. And what I would say is, which one do you find easiest? Use the one you find easiest, and the more you practice, then you'll be able to use both. For the final one here, we know it's at the 3, the minute hand, so it's quarter past something. What has the hour gone past? It's gone past 3, so it's quarter past 3. Or you could write it digitally as 3.15, 5, 10, 15. In this one, they're saying if it's at the 3, remember that's quarter past, and the blue is quarter to. It's a nice way to remember it, but you're not always going to have a blue and a pink clock. So I would blue and pink halves. So I would remember it as the 3 being quarter past if the minute hand is at it, and the 9 being quarter to. And one of the real important things, if it's quarter to, this time here, in a misconception, or sometimes children get it wrong, is when they say, well, it's quarter to 3. Well, it's not quarter to 3 because it's gone past the 3. It will be quarter to the next hour. So that one is quarter to 4. That one is quarter to, it's going towards the 3, so quarter to 3. I hope that makes sense. And there's some answers for you, just what I was talking about. And this is what I love, where you can write it both ways, the digital or the words, and you can write one, both, or just whatever you're happy with. So here it talks about the counting in 5 steps, and this is why we say our 5 times table is very important in year 2. The hour hand is there, the short one, and we can count round in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. In a time would never write, here would never write 1260, it would be 1200. A very important point here is that you'll see lots of little ones, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So those little ones are minutes, individual minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In year 2, we just focus on to the nearest 5 minutes. So that's why I say the 5 times table. When you move into year 3, you'll do time a little bit more precise, which will include the 1 minute. So that one is 12:05, 12:10, 12:15, 12:20, 12:25, 12:30. And all they're doing there is counting around in each time, and you'll notice that the hour hand moves around a little bit each time. So then when we get to our half past, the hour hand is exactly in the middle between the 12 and the 1. Moving on then, we've gone past the half past here, so it's 12:35, 12:40, 12:45. Oh, well, they've missed 12:50 off. 12:50 will be at the 10, 12:55, and then we're at the next hour, 1 o'clock. challenge question for you too. Here it says 12:45. Is there another way I could write that? You could look at it as what we learned before. We know it's at the 9, so that's 1/4 the next hour. What is the next hour? It's going to be at the 1, so that will be 1/4. If I wanted to, I could write it, let's hope this works, I could write it, the quarter, as that as well. 1/4, 1. And that's exactly the same as 12:45, just whichever way you find the easiest. So some practice sheets here for you. 7 o'clock. What I would say is use a ruler. Take your time. Make sure your hour hand is shorter than your minute hand. They can't be the same length. Some children find it easier to do them in different colours. The hour hand in red, perhaps, the minute hand in blue. It's totally up to you, whatever you find the easiest. But have a go at those. So I'm just going to do the first one. I can't use a ruler. I know it's o'clock, so it's going to be at the 12. And it's at 7, so it has to be exactly at the 7. Half past, I remember my half past is when it's at the 6, and it's past the 8. Now I can't go exactly at the 8, I've got to go in the middle because it's half past, so it goes in the middle. I'm not going to do 9 o'clock, I've done an o'clock. I'll do a 1/4 for you. 1/4. Where would my hour hand, minute hand be for 1/4? And it's gone past the 10, so there's my 10, and my hour hand will be a nice short one. And I'll do a 1/4 for you. There's one here. 1/4, so my next hour will be 5, but it's not at the 5 yet, so I've got to go just before it. And I know it 1/4 is when my long hand, my minute hand is at the 9. There's more for you to do there, so I'll just put these times on. So here we will put, you can put 0 or 7, but if you want, but 7, ... no minutes, 8:30. So that would be, we know it's 30 minutes. We could count round in our 5s if we wanted. So that's the same as 8, ... 30. Here on my example, we know it's gone past the 10, so it's 10, ... 15, which is exactly the same as 10:15. They both mean, they sound different, but they mean the same. 4:45, 5. So I can't start with a 5, it's not gone past the 5, so it's 4 something. Do you remember how many minutes it is when it's at the 9? I've forgotten, so I'll count round 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 4:45, which is exactly the same as 4:45, 15 minutes to the next hour. Okay, so have a go at the other ones. There's a page here as well for you to have a go at. And that's the digital and analog. So digital is when we write the numbers like that. Analog is when they're on a clock face like that. Really good to practice. And you know what, it doesn't matter if you don't get it right, just have a go. These are when it gets a little bit more tricky, I suppose. Where the other one was 1:45, this one's saying 5 minutes to 11. So I'm going to leave you to have a think about that. So if it's 5 minutes to the 11 o'clock, it's not at 11 yet, so what number are we going to start with? What's before? So a bit of a clue, it's 10 something. What's it going to be if there's 5 minutes to the next hour? What would that be? Let's count round. So if it's at the 11, that's 5 minutes to the next hour. We could look at it 11 times 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So it's not at the 11 yet, so it'd be 10.55. This is 10 past 7, so that means 10 minutes past 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is exactly at 7, so that would be like there. 5, 10, my long hand would go up there. Okay. Feeling confident? Complete the first page of the hot sheet. Wonderful. So you can have a go at that. I'm not going to go through that one with you. I'd like you to have a little go on that if you want, but it's no different, just set out differently. You're going to write it in the words. They've given you a time, and you can write it as a digital. So as an analog clock with the hands, the time in words, and it's asking you to do it half an hour later. Half an hour. So it's half an hour. How many minutes is half an hour later? Exactly, it's 30 minutes. So you could always count round 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to give you your new time. Okay, fantastic challenge there for you. Couple of pages. Oh, this is a brilliant one. Now work backwards. What time did the clock show half an hour ago? So this is really good for an example question would be, it's 10 o'clock, the children have break time in half an hour, what time will that be? So you'd have to work it out, or it's you could do it backwards and say it's 11 o'clock, the children had their break time 30 minutes ago. What time was it when they had their break? And so this is just a good way of working forwards and backwards using time. If you don't get it straight away, it's no problem. Just take your time, work your way through it. If you follow the mild sheet first, then there's no reason you can't do this and add on 30 minutes. You're really only counting around in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Remembering each time that the hour hand will move a little bit. And there's some answers there. I'll scoot past those. I want to see those for you. Are you stuck? Well, if you're stuck, there's no problem. There's an activity here called time loop. You'll need some time dominoes. What to do? Which of these examples here, time dominoes, we've even put a sheet for you. And it's a really good fun game to match them up just like you would dominoes. And there they've matched up. There's 1 o'clock on that side, 1:30, and they've matched the 1:30 with the time. Really fun games to play. So I would print those anyway and just have them as games that I would like to play. 2 o'clock there is matched with 2 o'clock on the analog time. Finally, year 2. Got one last task for you. Check your understanding. Using the digital, that means the numbers, write the time at each of these. So just as you're during your day, think about when you're having your tea, think about your bedtime, think about the school start time. Or if you want to do your home learning time, that's absolutely fine. Use a circle of paper. Draw the minute hand in the correct place for the time listed. 1:45, 2:30, 1:15. And they've asked you to do it in some colours. If you don't have those colours, use whatever suits you. Write the missing digits. 4:15 is the same as what? You can fill that in. 6:30 is the same as what? 1:45 something is the same as 8:45. If the time is 10:05, how would it show on a digital clock? So write down 10:05 in a digital time. If the time is 1:45, draw the position of the clock on an analog clock. Oh, and the answer's there, so I won't show you those. So have a go at those, year 2, and enjoy it. Time's a fantastic one to get to know. Thank you very much.